Hey, everybody, and welcome to another action-packed edition of the OverMark Podcast. We're your hosts, Dave and TJ. Today, we're going to be talking to you about Raw from June 3rd of 2025, and we got some of the news. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials at OverMarkENT. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our videos. I hate to remind everybody to do that, but it helps us to feed old algorithm.
We're horning ourselves out here like everybody else is.
We're going to whip that dude's tail.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Also, I'm told we're not supposed to cuss within the first however long of the video. I don't know why, but whatever. Anyway, we got Raw from yesterday, because today's Tuesday, but you guys might not be listening to it on Tuesday. Who knows? But anyway, they had an attendance of 9,081 with a setup of 9,959. So it looks like they had about 878 tickets available. This was as of 6 o'clock yesterday. So that was probably fairly accurate for where they were at. And
we went. This was a pretty decent Raw. The past couple haven't been too great, but I'm looking forward to talking about this one.
Yeah, before we get into the show, it was a good episode, and I saw a lot of negativity online about it. A lot of the little polls and stuff. People were saying that it wasn't that great of an episode. I thought it was one of the better episodes in a while. Maybe we're watching different things, or
it was super focused. Nothing happened that wasn't leading to something.
Right.
And that it doesn't necessarily have to sometimes be all about the people that I like the most or the craziest in-ring action. As long as there's like a good coherent show that is leading somewhere that I feel like makes sense and it's going to be a good build-up, then I'm excited for it. And it seems like every single thing that they did, or almost every single thing they did, hit the mark, right?
Yeah. There's A story, B story, C story, there's several layers to what's going on. It's not just, focused on just a handful of top guys right now. So it's good.
Way better crowd than last week.
Oh, yeah. And, they were at the Box Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So good job showing up, Tulsa. And they open the show, and Pat McAfee and Michael Cole are welcoming everybody to the show this week. And they replay a bet that he had made with Michael Cole, and Cole lost, and he must wear a tank top. And he removes his jacket to reveal a Indiana Pacers jersey to the crowd booing him. And McAfee laughs at him and tells him, "You look like an asshole."
Well, he kind of did.
Way to open up Raw.
Yeah. So, it's not like he was lying, huh?
Yeah. He's 60-year-old dude out there in a basketball jersey. He's fine.
When he flexed, he's probably more ripped than I was. So what the fuck can I say?
Pretty good shape for a 60-year-old dude. Way to go, Michael Cole. Hell yeah. And we'll just roll right into the CM Punk promo here. Punk enters to a huge pop, and there's a lot of crowd reaction and loud CM Punk chants. He says, "Is it a great time to be alive on Monday night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or what?" Talks about summer, Money in the Bank, references Oklahoma Thunder. Michael Cole groans. Says viewers can root for any team, but they should always watch Raw or SmackDown when the NBA Finals are on. McAfee approves the plug, declares it's the summer of Punk. We all remember the OG summer of Punk. It's one of the best years of modern wrestling. Notes he's won 2 Money in the Banks and cashed in successfully both times. He wants to make it a third. He would be the first wrestler in history to win it 3 times. Aims to get gold back around his waist. Mentions the 2 current top champions. Jey Uso, the crowd erupts with yeet chants. Punk says if he wins, it's business, not personal. John Cena says fans used to go banana for Cena, a nod to Pat Patterson.
Weird how that phrased that. That was actually Punk saying that. It was just lining up who Punk was talking about. So Punk was talking about John Cena there.
Exactly. Anyway, Cena sold his soul to a bald fraud goof. That was Punk saying that. "I'm going to come pick the bones, you little bitch." And the crowd roars. It's going to definitely be Punk and Cena. If Punk wins, This is the way that they set up Punk and Cena. Probably. Punk says he's done just being happy to be here. And it's about the money and the title now. Promises to see the fans at Money in the Bank when he qualifies tonight. And then Sami Zayn interrupts. He's not, and then the crowd sings his theme. And there were light "We Want Truth" chants during the segment. Our truth was let go, and the crowd was letting them know about it. And there were more of that this evening. Punk says he's cool with being interrupted by Sami. Zayn appreciates it. Sami chants pick up. Sami outlines his point. This is the first time Punk has clearly stated his goal to be a world champion. Sami wanted the same, but Rollins, Heyman, Bronson, Reed, and Braun Breaker, that's hard to say together for some reason. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker made that impossible for him. Money in the Bank is still in Punk's path, so he must win tonight. Warns Punk to ignore Rollins and focus on qualifying. Zayn says, we all need you to win tonight. Punk says Rollins has never beaten him. Zayn says if Rollins wins the briefcase, they're all screwed. Punk agrees and promises to focus. They shake hands. Zayn warns if Punk becomes champ, they will meet again under different circumstances. This was a solid opening to Raw, one of the better openings that they've had in a while. Yeah, what did you think of this, TJ?
I felt hyped up, you know what I mean? It was a pretty good opening. Of course I'm going to like everybody involved. Their delivery was good. Punk's promo was it wasn't like scathing CM Punk stuff, but it was a pretty decent Punk promo. He had the crowd fucking going pretty good right off the bat, which they were good all night. But nothing to complain about here. Punk and Sami are great. Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about Sami before I watched back in the day. Not to say I disliked him, but he's really good at what he does now, Pandering, babyface type guy, underdog, always getting his ass whipped. Great at those types of promos he does. But good stuff, and we'll be seeing plenty from these guys throughout the show. We got a backstage segment after that, though. It's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the women's tag champs. They're seen talking backstage. Perez walks up to them, Roxanne, and Liv warns Roxanne not to get involved in her upcoming match. And then Liv walks off. Raquel and Roxanne keep talking as she walks off, by the way. And Liv bumps into the women's world champion, Io Sky. She's like, oh, you again. Liv declares that she'll qualify for Money in the Bank and win, promises to cash in on her. Sky responds confidently, it's not going to happen. Liv fires back with watch me, the thing she says all the time. When this was okay, more furthering of stuff. Nothing was wasted on this show. I don't know really what you could add to that, but it was okay.
Nothing.
All right. Well,
I connected some dots there. Nothing was offensive.
Okay.
Keep us rolling.
Well, we got this Money in the Bank qualifier match here. It's Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile, Stephanie Vakir. We got our man in there, Eddie. What is it? Oregano. Yeah. He's the man.
Before we get into this, it was funny when I was watching it last night. Michael Cole's like, Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile, and Stephanie Vakir, and then he's like, referee Eddie Oregano, or however you say his name. He's always going to be Eddie Oregano on our show, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's our boy Eddie Oregano there. So now I got a face to the name. Before it was just the name, and I was like, it's got to be one of these guy referees. His name's Eddie. Now we know.
Yeah, old Oregano, huh? But yeah,
maybe I'll bring a sign.
This match was decent. The bell rang, and Morgan and Nile immediately knock Stephanie out of the ring. Nile tackles Morgan, goes for a quick pin. Morgan escapes. Vakir returns with a springboard crossbody to both opponents. A sunset flip on Nile for a 1 count. Morgan kicks Nile down. Vakir hits Morgan with a back suplex and the Devil's Kiss. Everybody's real into that. No more Booker T, huh? But
the crowd's gonna have to figure it out. Yeah. They were counting it out. They got to do like the NXT crowd. That was entertaining.
But that tells you how many people are watching that compared to the main show. But Vakir suplexes Nile and hits her with the Devil's Kiss as well. Morgan breaks the pin with a basement drop kick. Morgan starts the Three Amigos, lands the third on both opponents. That was pretty nice. Momentum swings. Morgan hits a running back elbows on both until Nile knocks her down. She actually kicked her. Vakir hits Morgan with a Meteora. Elbows Nile and then attempts a grab. Now surprises both with a double German suplex. Then we go to a commercial break, come back, and Vakir stays dominant. Hits Eat Defeat on Nile and another Meteor on Morgan. Blocks Nile's kick and delivers a Dragon Screw. Morgan breaks the pin. Morgan and Vakir trade punches. Vakir gets the upper hand. We got a Tower of Doom. Morgan climbs the top rope. Vakir meets her. Now power bombs both for a Tower of Doom, like we're just saying. Near fall for Nile. Crowd chants, "This is Dawson." I didn't know people were really that into Dawson's Creek still. Are they still doing reruns of that on TV?
Well, parents take their kids to wrestling now, so the parents would have watched it. Maybe they make their kids watch it. It's probably on a streaming service.
But Vakir rolls Nile up, and then they trade pins and punches. Morgan hits a double code breaker from the second rope for a near fall. Feels like she does that move a lot. Morgan sets up in Oblivion, but Vakir interrupts with a kick. Nile's cross tossed out as Vakir nearly pins Morgan with a backslide. Morgan counters with another code breaker in Oblivion. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Now tosses Morgan out and covers Vakir. Morgan breaks it at 2. Outside, Morgan throws Nile into the apron, but now responds by sending her into the steel steps, back into the ring. Vakir counters Nile and hits SVB for the win. Stephanie won. She's going to be going to the Women's Money in the Bank. And she joins Naomi, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea Ripley. And she's also going to be competing at Worlds Collide on Saturday.
Pulling double duty.
Yep. But yeah, it was okay. Not a bad match. You know, not much to shit on. The stuff that they did was at least tight. Nobody fucked anything up too bad.
Yeah, they've done a good job with the triple. We've said that a lot of episodes now. They've done a good job with the triple threats these last few weeks for the Money in the Bank qualifiers. About as good as you can do with a TV triple threat matchup, probably. And it was nice that they showcased Stephanie, and she's in the match. We got 3 NXT call-ups in the Money in the Bank this go round. Julia, Roxanne, and Stephanie. So, you know, the rookie class of call-ups, so to speak.
Yeah, it's different than how
all
Vince
in
did
pretty
it.
prominent positions already.
I feel like Vince just like had them show up right after WrestleMania. Like whoever it was from NXT, they're coming up. Raw or SmackDown. You know, literally like the next night. But yeah, overall, not a bad match, and we can go ahead and move on to the backstage segment with Styles and Paul Heyman if you want.
Yeah, so AJ's shown warming up. Paul Heyman walks up and offers a handshake. Styles doesn't take it. Nobody ever does. Heyman says he's here to wish Styles a happy birthday and brought him a gift. That's right, it was AJ's birthday. Happy belated birthday, AJ. The gift, information. Information is currency. Heyman claims Dominic Mysterio is disgracing the Intercontinental title. Says Styles is the kind of champion that title needs. Heyman's pitch says Money in the Bank will make Styles too busy. Urges Styles to leave Money in the Bank to Seth friggin' Rollins and focus on Dirty Dom instead. Styles respond. He says Heyman looks tired, constantly chasing his next meal ticket. Dismisses Heyman's manipulations and says that he doesn't respond well to threats. Styles says he'll deal with Dominic on his terms. Warns Heyman that everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It's a great Mike Tyson quote. Slaps Heyman on the back hard as he walks off. And Paul Heyman looked kind of pissed. That was a decent little promo. You know, it's furthering the story for the match this evening. And maybe even giving Styles to team up with somebody later for like a Survivor Series type of deal. Who knows? You know, got anything that you think that you want to add on that, or any kind of take?
Remember he said that Dominic had a dirty Sanchez.
That's right, his mustache.
Yeah, but no, this was really good. AJ Styles is awesome, and Paul's really good in anything he does that's verbal. But great little segment. I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool seeing them interact. Now take us on here. We got this video promo with Rusev addressing Sheamus. So Rusev addresses Sheamus, referencing last week.
Rufus. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's not bad. We might start calling him that. Rufus says Sheamus looked disappointed in him. Rusev claims he's saving others from the abyss the way Sheamus once saved him. Sheamus has a body of granite and a neck of sand, just like he does. Tension escalates. Rusev calls Sheamus a true legend and said it'll be an honor to take him out. Recalls being stabbed in the back by Sheamus years ago. Warns Sheamus to stay out of his way or he'll snap his neck. So then it goes to a backstage segment with Sheamus being interviewed. And he's talking with Akira Tozawa, Natalya, and Maxine Dupree. He praises all of them. He talks Natty up a lot. And then Natty says that they're all working hard and she's been really impressed with Maxine. And they even said Tozawa's really been doing good and shit, which, how the fuck has he been doing good? Like, I'd never seen him win anything, so I guess he's just standing up for himself. So I guess in that way, he was doing all right. But I'm having a fun night. Kathy Kelly approaches and asks about the Rusev confrontation. Sheamus says that Rusev used to be a friend, but made poor choices and left WWE. Says Rusev's post-WWE career didn't pan out, while Sheamus kept putting on bangers. Sheamus ends with "I bully bullies." I don't know. I'm sure it'll be an alright match, but like we always say, don't need to see any more Sheamus. He could not be on the show ever again, and nothing would be missed. But I'm sure he'll be there another 10 years, right?
Probably. I don't dislike Sheamus as much as you. I'm a fan of his YouTube channel, the workout.
I don't know. I'm just saying I've got my fill of the guy,
Yeah, I understand.
But what'd you think?
Well, pretty decent segment for all the people that were involved. I could do without Akira Tozawa, to be honest with you. But whatever. He fills a role, and he has a positive can-do attitude. So he keep getting a paycheck, I suppose.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of him, huh? Yeah.
I don't think so. And then I'll take us into this next match. We got a tag team match of the Judgment Day consisting of Finn Balor and JD McDonough. At some point here in the near future, we won't have to specify who members are of these groups. So many people keep getting let go from the company versus the War Raiders. And we have a New Day on commentary as guests. So we get some of their usual funny banter. So in the opening moments of the match, Balor starts against Eric and backs into the ropes to avoid him. He's doing some chicken shit heel work. The crowd chants, "We want truth." Eric absorbs a headlock attempt and drops Balor with a shoulder tackle. Balor regains control with corner shoulder thrusts. JD tags in, chokes Eric with his boot, and then chops him. Eric fights back, tags in Ivar. Ivar launches McDonough with back body drop and then a sidewalk slam. Balor attacks from the outside, but Ivar hits a handspring kick to knock him back. Ivar loses JD over the ropes and slams Balor onto the floor. Eric scoop slams Ivar onto both opponents. That can't be feeling good. Ivar teases throwing JD into the New Day, scaring them off of their seats. The referee ejects the New Day from ringside after attempted interference. The crowd kind of popped for that a little bit. Kofi and Xavier protest, and the referee runs down to enforce it. We go to a commercial break and then come back. JD has Ivar in a rear chin lock. Ivar fights out but gets kneed. Balor tags in for a slingshot stomp. JD follows with a springboard moonsault near fall. Ivar absorbs strikes and drops JD with a spinning slam. Get a hot tag to Eric. Eric runs wild, so to speak. Clotheslines to Balor. Why do I keep saying his name different? Balor and JD. Overhead suplex to Balor. Exploder to JD. Eric nails a pop-up headbutt and a knee strike on Balor for a 2 count. Ivar tags in. Viking Experience attempt is foiled by JD. Balor hits Ivar with a falling elbow for a near fall. Madonna whiffs a kick at ringside, but then hits Eric with a acai moonsault. That was actually pretty nice. In the ring, Ivar dodges the coup de grace and hits a seated senton and spin kick to JD. Ivar hits Balor with a Bronco Buster and climbs the ropes. Roxanne Perez appears on the apron, distracting the ref and Ivar. JD slams Ivar's head into the post. Balor hits the coup de grace for the win. The Judgment Day wins by pinball. Balor appears to be happy with Roxanne's involvement. JD looks uncertain about it, and that's the end of the match. What did you think of all this, TJ?
This is probably one of the low points of the show, and it's not that the match was really that bad or anything. It's just who gives a fuck, you know. It's hard to get anything to the War Raiders do. They let the chick go from the group. I'm surprised they didn't let them go either, but they probably can't because there's no tag team division. I mean, that's literally about it, right?
Fairly thin in the tag team. You know, all their best tag teams are definitely over on SmackDown right now, and I'm not necessarily crazy about what they're doing over there with their tag teams.
Balor and McDonough look good though. They're both solid.
Oh yeah.
And it's not to say the other guys really look that bad either. It's just they're just two fat guys there just doing some stuff, having a match. And there's not a lot of shit to sink your teeth into with them. But sinking our teeth into the next thing here, it wasn't too bad. I wonder how long these girls are going to go. I guess this is the blow-off match. You know, Becky's got to eventually win one, right?
Yeah. The thing about if it's the blow-off match, though, like, there usually isn't a blow-off match kind of like a little bit more than just having a match.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, isn't this number 2?
Is it? I think so.
I know that they just had that one.
They had one when Becky went away.
Yeah.
And Becky lost to her.
I don't know. It's not important. But Becky Lynch addresses the recent events and notes that she's only been back 6 weeks. In that time, Lyra Valkyria has cost her the Women's Tag Team Championships, a Money in the Bank opportunity. Lynch says that Valkyria doesn't understand what greatness is, claims that she gave Valkyria all the greatness she experienced. If Valkyria wins, it'll be the worst thing that ever happened to her. Lynch vows to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship and force Valkyria to raise the same hand that once held her own. Then a backstage segment, Valkyria reacts. Lyra Valkyria is seen storming through backstage, visibly furious. I don't know. Nothing too crazy. It was all right. These Valkyria at least is seeming like since they've been letting her talk, it hasn't been too bad. And Becky's good on the mic, right?
Yeah, they keep breaking up these segments. They could have just done all of this as one segment and not mix the. It's not only confusing, but it makes like a wonky fucking Vince Russo pace. I guess that's probably like my chief complaint about how they've been programming lately.
Yeah, it is strange, and it fucks us up too. I don't know. We're just like, wait, what happened?
Like, well, why are we talking about this now? Did somebody fuck up on the prep, or no? That's the way that they did it. Somebody fucked up on the production.
It's been like that for a while too, because I've seen a lot of other people complain about it. But after that, we got a backstage interview with Stephanie Vakir. Kathy Kelly interviews Stephanie following her Money in the Bank qualifier win. Vakir says that she feels great, begins to speak in Spanish, but is interrupted. Rhea Ripley in an R2 shirt walks up and shakes Vakir's hand, says, "I'll see you on Saturday." It was funny. They popped for that. It was probably like the biggest pop of the night, at least from the back.
Yeah.
They're pumped up for that one.
It's going to be a quality PLE this weekend, I think.
Yeah, hopefully. But
there's only 4 matches announced so far, so is this going to be another? We don't get the 5th match announced until SmackDown.
Probably, and another like 2.5, 3 hour show, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm totally good with the 4 or 5 match show.
Yeah, it's not bad, especially when you get them so often. It's just just literally like, what were we calling it? Saturday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So
Just Raw with no promos and full matches.
But how were you talking about how they broke it up though? Like, then it's like Larry Valkyria heads to the ring, mic in hand, says Becky Lynch had big words but chose to say them backstage. Demand Lynch come out and say it to her face, which I don't know why she thinks she wouldn't do that. But Becky Lynch comes out and tries to speak, but Valkyria cuts her off, and she's like, "Shut up, no," and like won't let her talk. She says Lynch is delusional. Your downfall needs to be studied. Claims Lynch has stopped being a good person and made her angry and bitter. Valkyria says, "No one has hurt me more than you." Says Lynch awakened a destructive side in her, beat her blind, and will beat her again at Money in the Bank. Promises Lynch will never poison what the Women's Intercontinental title stands for. And then Lynch fires back. Calls Valkyria's view poison. Says she hurt Valkyria physically but not emotionally. Lynch says Valkyria is looking for a reason to hate her because she can't replace her. Lynch insists that she was trying to make her better. What'll hurt you most is when you have to raise my hand. Then Lynch leaves, and Valkyria taunts her as she walks off. Says Lynch talks a big game but won't back it up. And then Lynch says that she doesn't fight in Tulsa. Funny, I guess. I don't fight here. Then Valkyria chases.
That's good heel move.
Yeah. Valkyria chases Lynch up the ramp and attacks her. A brawl breaks out backstage until referees rush in to separate them. It didn't take that long. But
it's like 3 or 5 seconds.
Nah, not bad.
Decent little segment.
Nothing
furthered their story.
Nothing to write home about, but I liked it. Nothing offensive.
Lyra's trying.
Yeah, and it's good she's in there with Becky, who can tell her like maybe what to work on as they're doing it and all that. So
elevator,
yeah, not bad. And,
nope.
Take us on to the next one.
Oh well, we get a star-studded tag team match with the likes of Jey Uso, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. And it's an intimidating looking duo. So be expecting big things from this group. No pun intended. Jey Uso starts against Breaker. Breaker hits the waistlock takeover and punishes Uso in the corner with shoulder thrusts. Jey fights back with a snap kick and running elbow for a 2 count. Breaker explodes off the ropes with a devastating clothesline. We go to commercial and come back. Bronson is dominating Sami Zayn. Shoulder thrusts and raw power. Breaker sneaks in cheap shots behind the referee's back. Reed and Breaker sandwich Zayn with a double corner splashes. Breaker knees Zayn in the face, near fall. We get a shift in the momentum of the match. Reed places Zayn on the top rope. Zayn fights back. Zayn hits a diving tornado DDT off the ropes. Gets a hot tag to Jey Uso. Jey lands multiple clotheslines and a big punch on Breaker. Breaker lifts him and hits a gut buster for a near fall. Breaker pulls the straps down and signals for the finish. Uso intercepts with a super kick. 1, 2, Breaker barely kicks out. Heyman is panicking. Uso locks in a sleeper, but Reed breaks it with a senton. Then chaos unfolds. What is this, AEW? Zayn rushes in to brawl with Reed. Reed crushes Zayn in the corner and then goes to the apron for a tsunami splash. Zayn dodges, sends both Reed and Breaker outside. Sami tries a plancha but gets caught. Uso follows up with a suicide dive. We get Seth Rollins doing the run-in and hitting Jey with a stomp on the floor. The winners by DQ are Jey and Sami. And then we get some post-match beatdown and action. Zayn attacks Rollins, but Reed flattens him. Rollins barks orders at Reed and Breaker. Crowd erupts with CM Punk chants. CM Punk charges out, smashes Breaker with a steel chair, throws the chair into Reed's face. Rollins escapes before Punk can get to him. Rollins yells to Breaker and Reed, "We know where Punk will be later. We've got him right where we want him." And that was the end of the match. This was a decent match, and the end extracurricular activities are helping tell the story. I enjoyed this. Like TJ and I said at the start, this good episode of Raw, good episode so far. What did you think of this stuff, TJ?
I mean, just repeat you, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's I feel like Bronson's lost a little bit of weight. He's looking a little bit better. He seems a little bit more mobile. He's getting up that on the top rope a little bit quicker. But besides that, Sami Zayn was funny as fuck in this match, coming out and dancing for the entrance and all that other stuff. It was pretty funny. But overall, it was a good match, and I enjoyed it. You know, I don't think you're gonna write to Mom about this one either. But you could if you wanted. She might entertain it a little bit. But
my mom would listen. She should be.
We got a backstage segment with Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, and Dom Mysterio. This wasn't bad. Liv pulled Finn to the side to confront him, says she sees exactly what he's doing with Roxanne Perez. Balor brushes her off, claiming she's using her imagination. He deflects, saying that Morgan's just mad about back-to-back losses, notes Perez is still in Money in the Bank and could bring the briefcase home to Judgment Day, jokes that Perez came on strong with chicken nuggets and shoulder rubs, warns it's Dominic Mysterio you can't trust, and Morgan fires back, it's not Mysterio I can't trust. And then accept Balor's challenge, says she'll be in Raquel Rodriguez's corner tonight, tells Balor to stay out of their way. Dominic Mysterio arrives, apologizes to Balor for last week. He brushes it off as water under the fridge and slaps the belt that he had over his shoulder. And you can tell it was just made Dom a little bit uncomfortable. It wasn't bad. These segments are always pretty decent. It's funny how they can get so much constant weird bullshit out of this Judgment Day stuff. Like, you know, people talk about the Bloodline and what they got out of it, and it was like super successful, but like this Judgment Day shit's going on forever.
What's it, like 3 or 4 years now?
I don't know, and it's not bad. You know, I enjoy it. I don't think there's been anything really that I've seen on it that's been anything that I've been like, oh, that sucks. And you know, it's funny, like Carlito's done some real funny shit as a part of it.
3 years, April 3rd, 2022.
Huh, that's pretty cool. But I don't know if how long's Kairi Sane been there? 3 years?
Longer than that.
All right. Well, it was her versus Raquel Rodriguez next with Liv Morgan ringside.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Guess who's back?
Oregano.
Our boy Eddie.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Well, you want to break down this match that had Eddie in it?
Oh boy. Well, you know, we got our boy Eddie out there, and he runs a tight ship, and there's going to be no shenanigans in this match that are going to be tolerated at all. And we get a opening lockup. Raquel overpowers Sane immediately. You know, she's a lot bigger. She goes for an early power bomb, and Sane escapes. Sane counters with a slingshot, head scissors, and a bulldog. Running basement forearm knocks Rodriguez out of the ring, and we get some ringside interference pretty quickly. Sane dives from the apron, and Raquel catches her and throws her into the apron. Rodriguez distracts the ref. I don't know why I just called her two different names. Liv Morgan kicks Sane to the ribs. Back in the ring, near fall for Rodriguez. Momentum starts to build. Rodriguez hits 2 clotheslines. Sane ducks the third, but Rodriguez still connects for a 2 count. The crowd starts chanting, "We want truth." It's still happening. Rodriguez slams Sane's sternum first in the corner. Carrie fights back. She slaps Rodriguez and counters with a suplex and a takedown. She lands a blockbuster and a sliding forearm. She climbs to the top rope, but Liv Morgan distracts her. We're getting into the match finish here. We get chaos at ringside. Io Sky rushes down and attacks Liv Morgan. Rodriguez grabs Sky by the hair to intervene. Sane uses the opening to kick Rodriguez's head into the ring post. Sane hits the insane elbow off the top rope, and the winner by pinfall is Kairi Sane. Win in 2 weeks in a row. Let's go. Liv Morgan, now bleeding from the forehead, checks on Rodriguez. Both are visibly frustrated post-match. I don't know what she got split open by there, but she had a pretty good cut on her forehead there, and I saw afterwards that she had posted a photo of it. What did you think of all this?
I don't know, just an average women's match on Raw. I guess it was okay. I mean, the kind of thing where you're like watching it, and then maybe you look at your phone a little bit, look back up. Oh shit, this is still going on. But I don't know. It didn't seem too bad, I guess.
Good time to let you get your Amazon purchases in.
or whatever else you got to do, I guess. But we go into the never-ending saga with Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is being checked by a trainer following the match that he just had, and Kross walks up and delivers a cryptic message, calls Zayn a liar to the fans and to himself, says Zayn should have been the world champion many times over, and he tells Zayn, you're a bad guy just like the rest of us. And he rejects the idea. Maybe I'm Kross, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm right. And then Kross walks off, leaving Zayn to reflect. And they just keep doing this shit over and over again. Don't know where the fuck it's going to go, but I can't imagine Sami turning into being a heel, but I don't know, maybe he would. Not too bad, right? Nothing really to stay on too much.
Nothing to write home about. It was you. Telling the story, whatever the story is that they're telling.
Yeah, I guess. But we got this locker room segment with Gunther visiting Jey Uso. Jey Uso is seated alone when Gunther enters, and he's like, whoa, calm down, and sits down beside him. Gunther delivers a calculated, respectful promo, says the World Heavyweight title's personal to him, acknowledges Uso's hard work and heart, says Uso is too selfish in a selfish business, and it's costing him. Gunther breaks it down. Zayn needed him, and now he's banged up before their match. CM Punk might need him. Uso will answer that call too. He's working Saturday night's main event just to support Cody Rhodes. And Gunther says that none of that is business of a world champion. Gunther thanks Uso and declares, you're making it easy for me. In 1 week, the party is over. Uso stops Gunther from leaving. Says, 3 letters, 1 word, tap. See you next week. And pretty good. I like this. Nice little calm sit down and shit. You don't got to beat each other up to prove a point, right?
Right. They don't have to just scream at each other the whole time.
Yeah, definitely pretty decent. But anyways, this is the main event we got next, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. This was a pretty good match, I think.
Yeah, Money in the Bank qualifying match. It's the triple threat with AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano versus CM Punk. Pre-match, Punk requests that the ref check Americano's mask for the illegal object that he's been putting in there. He finds nothing and calls for the bell. Early match, Punk and Styles double team Americano, dumping him out of the ring. Punk and Styles headlock exchange, leapfrog, drop kick by Styles, knocks something out of Punk's mouth. Americano re-enters, hits a monkey flip Hurricane Rana, then showboats. Punk throws Americano out and sends Styles into the post. Styles goes for a phenomenal forearm, but Americano sweeps the leg. Punk grabs at Americano's mask. Americano counters and hits a cannonball off the apron, followed by a shoulder tackle to Styles on commentary. We come back from a commercial break they had. Styles hits a back suplex on Americano, and Punk follows it up with a top rope elbow drop onto Styles. Punk fires up clothesline, neck breaker, running knees to both guys. Americano nearly German suplexes Styles onto Punk. Punk limps but breaks the pin. Crowd chants, he's Chad. No, he's not. He's Chad Gable. No, he's not.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, Americano hits a crossbody. Punk catches him for a GTS, but Styles breaks it up. Styles hits a reverse DDT on Americano and a simultaneous DDT to Punk. Near falls on both. Americano escapes. Styles clash and locks in an ankle lock on Styles. Punk tries a GTS. Americano reverses into another ankle lock. Punk counters, shoves Americano into a Styles clash. Punk breaks up the pin. We got the finisher here with a lot of high impact moves. Punk and Styles trade stiff shots. Punk hits a neck breaker. Americano breaks the pin. Climbs to the top rope. Punk attempts a GTS on Styles. It gets interrupted. Americano hits a moonsault on both. Near fall on Styles. Americano misses another moonsault. Punk hits a GTS. Punk covers a 1-2. Braun Breaker pulls him out. Then we get a little bit of outside interference here. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed double team Punk. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso rush in to fight them off. Styles takes everyone out with a springboard crossbody. Finish. Styles sets up for the phenomenal forearm, and Americano headbutts him in midair with a loaded mask, and then he gets the pin for 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and Dave was saying that he's gonna end up winning it, which I thought he might too. They've been having him win every match and Chad lose every match. So Chad loses and Americano wins. Americano joins Andrade, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Penta in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Completely unrelated, Chad Gable will compete at Worlds Collide on Saturday. Americano, not Gable. So post-match, recovers and brawls with Breaker at ringside. Seth Rollins ambushes Punk. Punk fights back, lifts Rollins for a GTS, but Punk gets speared by Breaker. Zayn tries to save Punk, but Reed beats him down. Rollins stomps Zayn and stomp Punk. Uso super kicks with Breaker and Reed, but gets speared by Breaker. Rollins hits Uso with a stomp. Reed hits a tsunami on Uso, then climbs again for a second one. Paul Heyman enters the ring to celebrate the destruction. Then Raw goes off the air. So they're just going to keep having him beat everybody down with that at the end of every show for a while, I guess. But
it was an easy way to do it.
It was a good match. There was everybody. We keep saying this, but I mean it's AJ Styles, Chad Gable, and Punk. So obviously everybody involved's pretty good, and they it was probably one of the best triple threats qualifiers that they've had so far. I feel.
Oh yeah, first meeting. Excuse me, first meeting of Punk and AJ in a WWE ring.
Was it? Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wasn't there when he came back, or when
right
when he debuted.
I think they wrestled in like TNA or Ring of Honor, something like that in the early 2000s. That was it.
Yeah, but
so that's really cool.
Check out the highlights of this match though. It was pretty cool, and the beatdown afterwards. I mean, it was typical shit that they've been doing, but overall, it was good stuff. It furthered what's going to happen next, and you just now it's not looking good for the faces, right? But we'll see how they come back and what they do to change it up. And overall, good show. I enjoyed it. It was one of the better Raws that they've had in weeks, and I feel like probably Dynamite was the best wrestling show last week. So maybe we'll see if that's going to be Raw this week. We'll know tomorrow, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Because SmackDown's been pretty terrible too.
Yeah, it's almost unwatchable. And then, like we talked about the other day, man, it's them staying at 3 hours really sucks.
Yeah, that was a fucking mistake there. I don't know whose idea that was.
Fuck you, NBC Universal. That's whose idea it was. They want that third hour because they want that third hour of advertising money.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah. Well, and so Raw, like we said, Raw was good. Hopefully they can keep on being good. It was a solid episode, and we got some news for you. Nothing crazy, we're not breaking down the world here, but we got a couple of goings on. The other day when we had reported some things while we were actually doing the episode, and we didn't see this until after the episode was over, Carlito is also set to leave the WWE. He confirmed on social media that his deal's up in 2 weeks, and WWE is not renewing his contract. This marks his second exit from the company. And, he started with them back in 2003 for his first developmental deal. He was there till 2010 and wrestled independence until 2020. He came back as a surprise entrance in 2021 at the Royal Rumble. And in 2023, he signed on full-time again after a pop-up return at Backlash in Puerto Rico. His Judgment Day stuff was pretty entertaining. He came back and he wrestled as part of the LWO at first when he first came back in, and he turned heel after being revealed as the one who had attacked Dragon Lee, and then got drafted to Monday Night Raw, and he had been with the Judgment Day ever since. I mean, honestly, I like Carlito as much as the next guy, but they were paying him to hang out backstage and play video games. Like, that's literally what he was doing in the segment even. So yeah, I'm not surprised that from a business perspective, cost-cutting measure, that he was one of the ones to go. He'll land on his feet somewhere. There are plenty of places to work. There are 3 companies that have TV deals now, and I think even Game Changer has some kind of TV deal, or you can watch them on like a free app on any smart device. So the world is your oyster if you're a wrestler right now. There are plenty of places to work. It's not like 15 years ago where it was WWE or TNA. But yeah, what do you think about this? What's your input on the Carlito leaving situation?
I guess it's not that surprising, it sucks because he was pretty funny in the shit he did, but I'm sure they were paying him a lot of money to not do a whole lot, and he never wrestled right, or very seldomly. So, it sucks to see him.
He got that spear.
Yeah.
That spear.
But it sucks to see him go, and I just never forget when he pointed out that Dom had direction,
Yeah.
When Liv was fucking around with his legs and shit. That this was before they were actually officially together. But yeah, man, I'm sure he'll pop up somewhere else, and he's a funny guy and he's talented. But I mean, who isn't these days that's on the show for the most part, besides a couple people?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see him and Truth both turn up in AEW. To be honest with you,
yeah, probably they'll be Ricochet's new buddies in the faction he's starting. But
that'd be way better than what I had read. It was going to be fucking Crew.
Oh no, that won't be good at all.
No, nobody wants to see that. Get Truth and fucking what's his nuts in there ASAP. Carlito.
Crew the fuck on out of here. But
fuck those guys. Anyway, yeah. So what's going on next in the news there, TJ?
Well, AEW is picking up momentum for All In Texas, I guess. At least that's what it says. It's set for July 12th at Globe Life Field, which is 39 days to go. Over 16,000 tickets have already been distributed, and demand is rising. According to WrestleTix, 16,079 tickets are out, an increase of nearly 600 from last week. Right now, the setup allows for just over 20,000, which means about 4,400 tickets are still available. AEW is also reopening sections that were originally held back during the shift from pre-sale to general sale. They've even added extra rows and started selling seats in areas that were previously blocked off. At one point, AEW briefly changed the stage layout to create a bigger floor setup, but has since gone back to the original design. That suggests they're making ongoing adjustments based on ticket demand. AEW has also been pushing affordable ticket pricing with ads saying seats start at just $20, but right now the cheapest tickets available for All In Texas is around $38. Globe Life Field can hold over 43,000. So there's still time for AEW to fill at least half the stadium or more. It's an impressive number, but when you look at it year after year, it's it's down. I don't know. It's overall, it's an impressive thing, I guess, for just another company besides WWE doing this, but it's just like everything else, it's just trending down for them numbers wise, and not trying to shit on them. It's just a fact, and I'm sure it should be a decent show. We'll be watching it, and hopefully it doesn't let us down. But just
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be watching. I'd rather be watching. What is it, Great American Bash that they're doing? But I'll watch that after because you can catch the replay of it. Because it'll just be on Peacock or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, not too much to talk about there. Just some facts to throw out, and we'll keep our eye on that, and we'll give you guys an update on it when possible. But we got this other topic here. If you want to dive into that for us here.
Yeah. So the UFC can't talk. We got to start the whole show over again. UFC rights shakeup could cause impact to AEW Collision. How is that, you might ask, Dave? Well, UFC's exclusive deal with ESPN is almost up, and now 4 major companies are in the mix for the next TV rights deal. ESPN is still considered the front runner. Amazon Prime is trying to pick up the UFC pay-per-views. Netflix is exploring the full bid, meaning that they would get all of the shows and the pay-per-views. And Warner Brothers Discovery is obviously one of AEW's television partners, and they're now one of the wild cards. Warner Brothers Discovery had just lost the NBA, and they're hunting for a big sports content to fill that void. So if they pick up the UFC, fights would likely air on TNT, TBS, and Max, the same homes as AEW. That creates a scheduling conflict with Collision because UFC big cards are always on Saturday nights. So those would most assuredly be featured on Saturday nights on TNT, with UFC taking over that slot. So what would happen to Collision? Well, according to reports, it would be moving to Thursdays as the most likely outcome. And that seems like a pretty smart move. Hopefully they actually do this. It would avoid conflicts with Saturday WWE PLEs. It reduces AEW's travel costs because they just pair up the tapings with Dynamite, and could boost the ratings for Collision because there was less competition. Seems like a kind of a no-brainer. Collision already has moved to Thursdays a few times for playoffs and special events. This could be a smart permanent move. The UFC's current ESPN deal ends late this year, but a new deal is expected to be finalized before the end of the summer. So we'll keep you posted on that. And what do you think of that, TJ? You think that moving to Thursday would be the right play?
I mean, yeah, it definitely would, just for the fact that Saturday's a fucking terrible day, you know?
Yeah.
That you're just against so much shit. You're always against the UFC pay-per-views, just the UFC cards in general. When the WWE decides to have their shit on Saturday, that's not a normal big PLE. Now they have all these other events. They should get out of there. And it's funny. I'm a big UFC fan, and they're trying to get like a pretty big deal here. And I don't think they're going to get nearly as much as they think they are, but I don't know anything. All I know is that the product's a lot staler than it's been in a while. They don't have any big stars. They don't have any big fights. And it's just a brand. They don't build stars anymore in the UFC. They don't really promote very much. But beyond that, they should definitely move to Thursdays. I think it'd be better for everybody involved. Why would you want to watch wrestling on a Saturday? Everybody's got better shit to do. And we'll see. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens with that UFC deal. It would be great if it were to be on Netflix. I would love for them to get away from the pay-per-view model. It's super outdated. But I think that they're definitely probably not going to do that. So if they're on Netflix, you'll probably still have to buy the pay-per-views through them. You'll just get like a lot of the Fight Night cards as a part of your subscription. At least that's my guess.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, honestly, it's like I want the full deal. Like, give me I'm tired of the pay-per-views, but we'll see. Not too much to really speculate on the full final aspects of whatever deal UFC does, but we'll maybe cover that since we brought it up here in its relation to how it might affect Collision and all that. But I guess I'll toss us on out of here if you want.
Yep, take us home.
All right. Well, it's not a bad episode, and we're going to be watching Dynamite. Sorry to go back. We started with Raw. Pretty decent episode of Raw. The couple little news things we did. It sucks to see Carlito go. But beyond that, the next time we record, it's going to be Thursday. We'll be watching Dynamite tomorrow, and we'll give you our little review on that. And beyond that, check out our social media at OverMark ENT, YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram. As always, we appreciate you guys, our overmaniacs out there. Just keep listening, subscribing, liking, tell your friends about us, get us some watch hours, help us out, guys. I'm sure everybody here that has fucked around with the YouTube channel knows it's a never-ending struggle, and we appreciate the hell out of you guys for coming on us with the journey and whatever the hell you call it. And go ahead and take us out, Dave.
You guys on Thursday?
Yep.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what day it would be. Yeah, Thursday. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Talk about some Dynamite, maybe some news, maybe not some news. Maybe we'll hit you with a wrestling history thing. I don't know. It depends on what's going on in the news or not.
Well, all right. We'll get on out of here. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night, guys. Have a good night, TJ.
Yep. Talk to you later.